Hi, this is Matt Paulson. Today we're going to look at a debate that I had with a lawyer Muslim from South Africa, and he's calling for the destruction of Israel. So let's see what he has to say, and let's see how I defend myself, and which part he's going to cut out, because I quote the Quran 40:68 that says that Allah causes all death, and he eliminated that from the debate video. How fair is that? Let's watch.
21 December 2018. You then have a situation that, poets, journalists, boys as young as 15.
Yussef,
Yes.
can we just pause there? Ask Matt, what month did he actually go in 2018?
Well, what month did you go?
November.
31st March to 31st December. What month
November
did
of 2019, I was there.
So you went after the Great March of Return. So you stated that the situation was fully peaceful before October 7th. I'll give you, it's been declared that the year before October 7th, that is 2022, 2023, was the deadliest year for children who were shot dead in the West Bank in a decade of violence being committed by Israel. So it was Israeli settlers, the IDF, and Israeli police targeting children. Some of these kids threw stones at the Israeli settlers. They were shot dead. But here you have a situation which is documented, which you probably obviously don't know about. It's the United Nations Human Rights Council. They did a comprehensive commission of inquiry. You can check the report. It's about a 100-page documented report for the individual cases, where these people weren't part of Hamas and weren't part of any kind of militant resistance. This was a peaceful Gandhian-like protest stating that they've got the rights to go back to their homes and they should be afforded the same rights as Israelis, and they were shot dead in cold blood. In one instance, they were shooting them on the knees, paralyzing them, killing them. So clearly, you're not familiar with this particular point. So before I move on to your next allegation of human shields, would you be bold enough now in condemning this particular action by the IDF, which was under the basis of command responsibility? And don't jump, I'm talking about this particular incident and this report of an inquiry on the 2018 protests in the occupied Palestinian territories. Will you be bold enough in condemning this? This was released on 18th of March 2019 and 28th of February 2019. So I don't know which month you went, but at the time that you went to Israel, this report was already there, where you claimed that you were in a peaceful environment and everybody was kumbaya and happy with each other. Will you condemn Israel for the Great March of Return killings?
I don't know anything about that. I can't talk to it, so I won't speak to it.
Well, now you do. So now that you know about it, will you condemn it? Now that you
do you acknowledge that it was peaceful in 2019, November of 2019, that there was love and peace and going on? See, you won't acknowledge that there was peace going on. There wasn't anybody throwing rocks. So you just want to talk over me and you won't let me talk. See, you're just totally ignorant. You've never been to Israel. You don't know anything about Israelis and how they want peace. You call for the destruction of Israel, and you're a crazy man. I just can't believe you would say that. That's absolutely stupid. You're promoting the genocide of people when you advocate for the destruction of Israel. That's crazy. You can't say that on public air. You shouldn't say that in media. You are just causing more hatred and more death by doing that. You're perpetuating a bad situation and you're making it worse.
I'm not like one of you. Where did I say that Israeli civilians must be killed? What did I call for?
You told me you would be arrested because you called for the annihilation of Israel. Didn't you say that?
The dismantlement of the state of Israel. Is that killing Israeli civilians?
What does that mean? That's calling dismantling Israel is the same thing as destroying it. That's terrible. How can you say that publicly? You should be arrested. You're an advocate of war. You should be arrested. You shouldn't be able to say that. Anybody who calls for the destruction of Israel should be in jail.
State of Israel. You know why? Do you know why? In the same way.
Because you're an evil person. When you're evil, you say evil things.
For killing of Palestinian civilians, and you calling me an evil person?
I don't call for the destruction of Palestine. I want peace. You call for the destruction of Israel, and you are just promoting more anger, more hatred, and more deaths. That's terrible for you to say that. I just can't believe you say that.
So, in conclusion to the debate, let me summarize a few points I made. In 2019, I visited Israel, and there was relative peace during that time. I never saw any rocks being thrown. I never saw any bullets flying at any Palestinians. It was very calm, and there was a very peaceful tour of Palestinian territories, Bethlehem and Jericho, and we went through checkpoints, never had a problem. There was no violence that we could see. Israel does not want to destroy Gaza. There was relative peace, but for the last 25 years, Israel's been hit by 30,000 rockets fired from Hezbollah and also Hamas. So what do you do when you have 30,000 rockets coming into your country? You retaliate. That is justified warfare. The West Bank is owned by Israel. They bought it with their blood in 1967.
And what about the 50,000 souls that were killed by IDF soldiers?
Cut out the part that is the most important part of the debate, is where I won. I quoted Quran 40:68, which says that Allah causes all death. And if Allah causes all death, that means that there's a serious problem in the Israeli conflict. That means Allah is causing the IDF soldiers to kill all the civilians in Gaza. And which part he's going to cut out, because I quote the Quran 40:68 that says that Allah causes all death, and he eliminated that from the debate video. How fair is that?
It's not fair, because he left out 50,000 people that were killed by Allah, and he knows that's true, and he cut it out. He knows Allah killed 50,000 people because Allah causes all death. Unless Allah is in God, which is my point exactly. I pray that Muslims will learn this today. In Jesus' name, amen.